Hello everyone. We are going to start with the graphical user interface programming in Python along with basic Python. Those who are already aware of basic topics, for them I am going to start a parallel series of videos on Python which will cover some advanced topic. Like we will start with graphical user interface. After discussing graphical user interface, I will be discussing some other advanced topic like database connectivity, network programming, and the web development using Django and many other tools. In this particular video, we are going to give you the introduction of the graphical user interface, how to create the graphical user interface in Python program, because till now whatever program which we have done are console based. The output of the result were displayed on the screen in the form of text and we were interacting in that mode. What is GUI, graphical user interface? We all are aware of Windows. If you look onto this desktop, this is the graphical user interface where we use the mouse to access the icons. We can double click to open, right click and open. So this kind of interaction is known as graphical user interface. So in this particular video, we are starting with GUI programming or graphical user interface programming in Python. So how are we going to implement the graphical user interface in Python? There is a module known as tkinter, or you can pronounce it as tkinter. This is a module in Python which is responsible for creating the graphical user interface, where we can design our window, where we can put all the elements or components like text field, buttons, label, drop down list and many more, so that we can interact with our same Python program through graphical user interface. We can use the mouse, we can click directly on the text field, we can enter your name, there will be buttons, we can click on those buttons and action will be performed. Such an interface is known as graphical user interface. So this tkinter is the module which is responsible or which has the functionality of implementing the graphical user interface in Python file. And I am going to name it as GUI, that would be better. Let's press enter. Let's hide this. Now first tkinter or tkinter, okay, and then what we are going to do is, after importing the module without any component, just a simple window, and look onto the window and we'll check what are the various components of that window and how to interact with the window. Let's start with this. How to interact, how to create a window. The module is tkinter.tk. tk is the function in the tkinter module which is used to create a window for you. Let's run the program. GUI. Do you find anything? No. The program has completed, the process finished with exit code 0, that means the program has done. Why it is happening? Because we have created the window, but the window comes and closes itself so quickly that we are not able to see that window. For that, what we have to do to keep the window on the screen, we need to run something continuously so that user can see it, use it or interact with the window. And how can we do? There is a function known as main loop. If I run that main loop function, it will continuously keep the window before the user unless the user closes the window. That's it. And what will happen now? Once you run this main loop, basically this main loop does what? It ensures that the window is displayed continuously till the user himself or herself closes the window. Let's check the program again, run the program. You can see, although the window is of different size, we can expand this. You can check this is a normal window with minimize, restore and maximize button and a close button. And if you see, these features are available in almost all the windows. You have seen minimize, maximize and restore button and close button. And if you see, there's a title also there. So this is the title bar, and title by default is given as TK. Okay. So this is what the window is of graphical user interface. Here we can display various components on this window, like we can create some text field, we can create some buttons on which you can click, and when you click on the button some action will be taken, some text fields will be there where you can enter the values, some label will be there. Labels are used to explain some component, or before the component we put the label to make the user understand what the kind of values we are going to enter, and many other components can be adjusted in this. So we are going to design the window with various components. For time being we have just taken the example of a simple window, a simple blank window. So if you look onto this window is a plain window with minimize, restore, maximize and close, and there is a title. So how to exit this window? Just click on this cross button and the program will terminate and will come back to the program. Now, if you have observed the window, on the window by default, if you run this program again, if you check this, by default the title of the window is given, that is TK. We can change this title by using, you can just change the title to any whatever you want, say my application as the title of the window. If I assign this title to my window, now that default title won't be appearing, and my title which I have given, that is my application, will appear on the window. If I run this program again, see this time instead of TK as the default, you can see my application is coming as the title of my window. So to change the title of the window, what we can do is we have a function which is called as title, and using that function we can change the title of our window. So what we have done till now we have checked how to create the window, how to ensure that the window remains on the screen until unless the user closes the window, and we have also checked that how to change the title of the window. By default TK is the title of the window. And one more thing, every time when we are using this tkinter module, in our case we have to write the full name. So what we can do is we can take an alternative alias which is TK, so that we don't have to write entire tkinter every time and use the alias. Now one last thing in this lecture, that if you have observed that whenever you run the program, the window appear in this size. So if you want, we can arrange for a minimum size for the window, so that when it appear, whatever is your preference, width or height in pixel, say 500 by 500, 600 by 600, whatever the minimum size you want the window to appear whenever you run the program, you can apply the minimum size to the window by using min size, and here you can specify any size. Say we can say 500 by 500. Let's check, let's run the program again. So you can see this time when we displayed the window, the minimum size of this window is 500 by 500, which is more appropriate than the previous one, which was little smaller in size when it used to appear. Let's close this window. So what we have discussed in this lecture? In this lecture we have discussed how to use the TK module to generate a window, the graphical user interface window, and using main loop we can sustain or allow the window to be on the screen till the user closes the window. We also came to know that using title function we can change the default title of the window, and when the window appear for the first time, what should be the minimum size. We can even apply a minimum width and height of the window by using the min size function. So that's all for this video. Please do give your valuable feedback after watching the video in the comment section. Thank you.